Great Monday morning. How are you all doing? Happy Monday. This is your girl Shan. Get up in a positive mood, a positive mindset. Hope and pray you all are doing amazing on this Monday morning. And so I'm going to go ahead and jump into the church announcements real quick. Join us tonight on Marriage Mondays with the Kings as me and Mr. King speak about being submissive versus being controlled. Okay? We don't understand why people get those two confused. So we are going to be talking about that tonight on KRG and 98.5 FM The Rock. Good morning, Tasha. Good morning, Zalisha. Everybody coming in, you know I say good morning. So tonight at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you desire to listen in to the show tonight on our various avenues, please go to our website at www.marriagemondayswiththekings.com, and then you just click on the listen here tab. So I'm gonna go ahead, for the sake of time, I'm going to speak on behalf of children, okay? Hey, Cousin Kim. I'm going to speak on behalf of children on this morning. And the topic that I'm going to be speaking on is co-parenting, okay? Co-parenting. Baby, when I tell you, me and Mr. King can talk about this. We can talk about this all day because we were both in that situation. Good morning, Thisha. And so, y'all have heard me say several times over and over again, good morning, Miss Delia, that I have worked with children over the years. And I love listening. I know this sounds weird, but I love listening to teenagers. Because when they really feel that they're in a safe place with you, they will open up and they will really share some things. Things that children share with me a lot of times can be very disturbing. Now, I'm not going to sit up here and act like me and my husband was perfect. Y'all already know what we've been through. We are very transparent. But what burns me up is when you have individuals that you will sit up here and you use children in the co-parenting method as a pawn. Come on, you know your girl gonna jump into it on this morning. So let me not, jump ahead of myself. But with co-parenting, I'm just going to say it like this. You have to be mature to effectively be able to co-parent. Good morning, Cherie. You have to be very mature. Co-parenting is not going to work if the both of you all, I'm not going to say one or the other, if the both of you all are not mature. Why should children be punished for the parents' actions? That's what I'm going to ask. Now, this is going to be a little real on this morning. Some of y'all going to be saying ouch, but I'm just saying all this in love. Why should children be punished for their parents' actions? That's the thing that irritates me none other. So let me go ahead and call a spade a spade. Let me go ahead and call it out here like this. One of the things that me and my husband said on one of our recent shows, I think it was entitled The Absent Father. That will actually be playing next weekend because y'all know it's a federal holiday in the United States and the Kings are off. So The Absent Father. We do not realize how important it is for the father to be present in the child's life. Because when you speak about identity, I'm not talking about that the woman can't do it, this and this and this. But this is the thing that irritates me, and I'm going to get back on co-parenting. This is what irritates me. I'm trying to keep my hands down and sit on my hands. We sit up here as adults and we complain and say that there are not enough good women and good men in the world. But let me tell you something. Guess who's responsible for raising good women and good men to be somebody's helpmate in the future? We are. So it starts with this. Now, good morning, Natasha. So if the parents do not work out, let's just say you don't work out, you married, or you've been dating for some time. Let's just keep it real. And what's going on in today's society? Hey, Sister Lolo, you've been dating for some time, or whatever the case may be. The situation don't work out. I'm going to need the both of you grown people to have a conversation about how this is going to affect the kids. How is this going to affect the child? How is this going to affect the children? Because there are too many people right now walking around in this world broken, to include grown adults, still affected by the things that happened in their childhood that could have been, I'm not going to say prevented, but it could have been handled in a different way, if you will. So co-parenting. Now, I need us grown folks to understand that it's not about you. As soon as you lay down, you do the horizontal tango, as soon as you have a child with somebody, it is no longer about you. This is what I don't understand. Oh my God, I'm all over the place, but this irritates me. How is it that we can say, well, I'm just doing what's best for my child, but when it comes to something that's actually best for my child, you're not doing what's best? Let me break that down. Let me go ahead and talk about it. So I'm just going to say what I've seen the most, not to say that this doesn't happen both ways, because it does, but this is what I've witnessed the most over my few years of life. Number one, daddies, Quit promising your children, especially when you no longer in the home with them, that you gonna come and pick them up. Oh, I see you this weekend, blah blah. Quit lying to your kids and saying that you gonna be there when you know that you really don't want to be there. Now, daddies, I do know it's hard because you do not want to deal with that woman in which you've had children with, the mother of your children, because she may be in her emotions. I'm gonna talk about this because y'all know this equal opportunity here in just a minute. She may be in her emotions. You don't feel like putting up with the bull. That's what I'm gonna say. You don't feel like putting up with the bull or whatever, because you got to deal with foolishness when it comes to you being able to see your child. Okay, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna need you and encourage you to fight to have a relationship with your child. If that means going to court to get some parental rights and all this other kind of stuff like that, then sir, do what it is that you need to do. Now, ladies, this is what we guilty of. Because he no longer wants you, guess what the first thing you're going to do, especially if he has a good relationship, him and his child is close or children are close, because he no longer wants you, you want to punish him with the children. Now, I know it ain't just me. I know some of y'all have seen the exact same thing. Oh, you might not say that, your man. Well, I'm doing what's best for my child and I'm keeping my child away from him. If there is harm, that's a whole different level. We ain't even talking about that. We're talking about the parents who desire to be in their children's life. They desire to pour into their children. Because a lot of times, us ladies, what we do is we make it about us. Oh, he moved on with her. Oh, no, my children ain't gonna be going over there be with him. Oh, he happy now? He with somebody else, and then you using the children as a bargaining chip. That irritates me. So a study was done, and I had to think about this. Good morning, Delisha. A study was done, and it said that there are not enough children being born to replace our generations right now. You have the younger generations that are having less and less children, okay? I was sitting up thinking about that, and I've been thinking about it for some time. And you know, I'm going to say it just like this. I don't blame these kids. I do not blame these kids, not one bit. Not one. There are things that we've said in our generation. Oh, I'm not putting up with no man talking crazy to me. My mama, my big mama did it or whatever. Baby, I'm out. That's how these kids think. They're not trying to tie themselves down with. Why they not trying to tie themselves down and have kids with somebody? It's because they seen what you've been through. They seen how you was. They know how they feel because they have a void that they're trying to seek to be filled right now because you might have kept them away from their daddy or their mama. So they like, And I encourage you, young adults, if you don't have any children right now, because see, some of us went and already had kids, whatever. I'm going to say it just like this. And I said, wow, this is so good. I wish somebody would have gave me this advice some years ago. Okay. If you cannot see yourself having children with the individual in whom you sleeping with, don't sleep with them. If they're not capable enough. Now, somebody say, hold on, Shan, hold on. Because when people have children, they change. People can have children. They can change for the better. It can make them grow up. It can mature them. But if they selfish and all they think about is self, baby, a child is not going to change that. People could be good people before they had children. I've seen this so many times with wives. I've seen this so many times. Hey, Shani, I've seen this so many times with mothers that, baby, as soon as you have a child, baby, you got an attitude, you nasty acting, you stink. Can't nobody even say nothing to your child, even if they say hi, because you got an attitude. So it can change both ways. But again, if you can't see yourself raising a child with the individual in whom you sleeping with, I'm gonna need you to stop sleeping with them. We really need to be really careful with who we procreate with. And so, you know, I'm gonna go ahead. Y'all know me. It's been a minute since I brought this subject up or whatever the case may be. But like I said, I've dealt with this. And so with me marrying my husband and him having a child, and then me having a child, okay, we had to be able to effectively co-parent with the individuals who were outside of our marital union. You know what I'm saying? With the other parent. And I'm not gonna lie to you, and this is from my perspective, we didn't have any problems with the biological of my child. He wasn't there. No shade, no knock. That was years ago, whatever the case may be. He was not there. Okay, hey, Trishelle, or whatever. However, we still made effort to try to meet up with him in Arkansas, no matter where we were stationed, meet up with him in Dallas or whatever the case, meet him halfway so he can spend time with his child. You know what I'm saying? What he chose to do, that was on him. Now let me flip to the other side. And I'm not going to try to act like we're perfect. My husband happened to be in that situation with the ex-wife that, boom, you You done moved on with her. Oh, I wasn't even studying what he was doing. You was too busy out doing your own thing. But soon as he moved on with me, then it was an issue. And the thing is, what I had to understand, good morning, Vanessa, is regardless of, keep this in mind, most people get mad at the child because I'm with him. I don't even want his child in my house. His child be acting like such and such. Baby, that child is 9 years old. That child is going through some hurt. Somebody need to be mature. So while my husband and his ex-wife was arguing and doing all those things, I was the one, not to say my husband wasn't doing, I was the one that was praying and covering our oldest daughter, if you will, my stepdaughter, I hate that term, covering her in prayer. You see what I'm saying? Because this was a hard transition for her. While they was sitting up here trying to argue and figure themselves out, I was keeping that baby girl covered. I was saying, God, keep her mind, keep her strong, dear God, and stuff like that, because she was raised up outside of our home. But soon as, baby, only concern was the child support check, and we still got those receipts of how we paid every month. And so if you don't think you're mature enough to effectively co-parent with someone else, don't have a child with them. Don't sleep with them. Don't lay down with them. I don't blame these young adults right now. You have a lot of parents that are my age that you're not grandparents right now, and you sitting up here like, I sure wish you would have me a grandchild. You pressuring them to have a grandchild. Look, just pray and say in God's time and let that baby have what that baby gonna have. You see what I'm saying? In God's time, this ain't got nothing to do with you. And that's the problem. A lot of us as adults, we think everything have to do with us. I know at the age of 18, when I pushed out my first child, I know that it was no longer about me. It was about my child. And I did everything that was best that I knew in my way for my child. You see what I'm saying? And that's the place that we need to get to. Can we get to the place to where everybody sit down? You got this parent over here who done moved on. You got that parent that moved on. And you done sat down for the child's birthday party. Been there and done that. You see what I'm saying? Even when my husband got to see his daughter after, I think it was like 10 years, we got stationed back in Germany, and he was like, I want to see my daughter, because they were this close, but the daughter was used as a pawn against him. And so I'm sitting up here like, oh Lord, because trust me, I'm not gonna act like I'm super saved. I mean, I'm saved and sold out, but there were times, baby, I thought I was going to go to jail. You hear me? Because the ex made it her mission. It wasn't about communicating about the child when she had conversation about, with my husband, her ex-husband. What it was is she wanted to get on the phone and, how's things going in your marriage? How things, you talking about the wrong thing, ma'am. When y'all are co-parenting, you need to be talking about the child. You don't need to be talking about nothing else. Well, when you was with me, this is what and why couldn't we have worked out? Ma'am, he have a whole wife. He done moved on. I need you to talk about the child. And that was the issue that I had. And me and the biological on my side was talking about anything. We weren't talking about how when we was together years ago. We was talking about the child. When do you want to come pick him up? What time you want to get him? How long you trying to keep him? Oh, okay. Well, what will y'all be doing so I can make sure I have his clothes packed? Or do you already have clothes over there for him? See, that's co-parenting. We ain't talking about no relationship stuff. And women, I'm going to need us to get up out of that. Baby, if he no longer desires to be with you, if she no longer desires to be with you, good morning, Kendra, move on. Okay? And the only communication should be had is about the child. Oh, the child playing sports now? I know I'm sending you child support. Okay, well, I kick in half on some of the sports gear or something like that. Because I have sat down at the good old Burger King in Bad Kreuznach, Germany, baby. And when I tell you that young lady was so disrespectful, I'm telling you, I'm just telling myself, I about flipped some tables and some chairs. But see, I had to think it out and process even then and say, you know what? This is not about me. I love my husband too much to sit up here and stoop to the level and act a fool with this chick. Yes, she is flirting with him, but guess what? He comes home with me. You see what I'm saying? And he wasn't flirting back. I said he'd been flirting back. That would have been an issue, baby. Burger King, have it your way. Oh, I would have had it my way. You see what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is, we need to get back to the importance of the children. We are raising and creating the next generation. You can't sit up here talking about you proud when your child is sitting here broken. So if the mom and daddy is no longer together, can you get the child some counseling? Can you get the child some help? Can you quit dogging their parent in front of them? That's something that irritates me like none other, and I've never done that. I've never sat down with my son and dogged his biological father in front of him. As far as I know, my husband have never did that. So are we going to be mature enough to co-parent for the sake of these children? Because guess what? Y'all stress of what y'all are going through as parents is causing these children to wrestle with things more than what they have to wrestle with. Quit telling your child what's going on or what, and you trying to talk to them like a best friend. Let your child be a child. Allow them to grow up. Sow into them and do what is best for your child. That's what you do when it comes to co-parenting. If things are not working out, you don't have to dog the other parent, because let me tell you something that I know, because we got 3 grown children, but we got 2 that are a product of co-parenting. When they get grown, they gonna come and ask some questions. They gonna want to know the truth. Tell them the truth. And because what I told my son is, baby, here's my version. You go and speak to him, and then you set up and decide what you want to believe or whatever the case may be. And I kept loving my child despite of. So, well, Shan, what do you do if the man get up and he just leave and he abandoned? Baby, try to be the best parent that you can be. Try to do the best that you can do. I'm going to tell you what I did. I prayed. Because even though I was raised under me being a woman, and I could teach a man and raise a man to be a man, let me tell you, there are too many broken women. You know, no disrespect for what you've done, single mama. Trust me, been there, done that. No disrespect, but there are too many broken men who are walking around because they needed a guy. They needed someone. And I ain't saying just go marry somebody just so your child can have somebody in their life, because that's the wrong answer too. Make sure it's a God-led situation. And I prayed and said, God, I don't know anything about raising a son, and I wanted my son to be able to have the best. God, please, whoever you have for me, please let him be capable and able to be able to raise my son into a man. Because guess what? Realistically speaking, and a lot of us don't want to hear it. And that's why I encourage, because people ask me all the time, well, Shan, well, what do you think? Unless it's a hostile situation where the child is going to be abused, do not do this. But I always, well, my son is a teenager now, and, you know, I don't want him to go stay with his daddy and live. Is the daddy going to abuse him? Is the daddy gonna hurt him? How is that relationship? Oh, they got a good relationship. Well, what are you tripping for? Because guess what? We love a child as women, and we nurture them to a certain age, especially when it comes to boys. And see, that's what I had to learn even in my marriage. I had to take my hands off because I wanted to be that smothering mother. You see what I'm saying? Especially since me and my husband, I brought the son into the relationship. He brought